everyone, we are live here with Khushi Patil. I'm just going to get her to connect with us. Just a minute. Hi Khushi, if you've joined the session, can you please send a request to join? Code with Khushi.
Khushi, can you please send across a request to join? Yeah, got it. Are you able to join, Khushi? Any issues? Yeah, I saw her in the feed. Is unable to join. Okay. Hi, Khushi.
Yes, hi. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you. And you had some issues to join in, is it?
Yeah, there was some issue, but it's fine now.
Okay, it's okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Khushi. I'm Sophia Chand from Girls Bus, and before I, throw the baton at you, just wanted to, let the audience know that the entire reason for us to have this session is, we as women, we try to handle so many biases on a regular basis, and technology is one bias that has been against women for ages now. And we feel very proud when we have someone like you on board, in our sessions, because it helps us to show others how important it is for us to move away from these biases and, actually utilize our skills to move forward in life. Yeah. My video is not clear. Someone saying, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Just a little glitches in your video though.
Okay. I think it'll settle in a bit. I'll go on. If it stays on, please let me know, guys. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to, throw it at you. I want to really know, first of all, about your journey. How did you get into computer science? How is it that entire, story unrolled for you?
Okay, so first of all, my name is Khushi and I am a Masters of Computer Science student. I'm an MSc Computer Science student. So besides coding, I'm also a long distance runner, and how I got into coding is actually a very interesting story, because I remember I used to hate coding. I thought it's just something I couldn't do. It's just something I was like, I feared all my life. It's been 6 to 7 years that I've been studying computer science, and I was like, I cannot do this. But here I am. I am a tech influencer right now, and pretty much doing good in my coding career as such.
Very nice, very nice. So before we go on, guys, if you have any questions, there is a tiny little question icon at the bottom right of your screen. You can put your questions over there, and as soon as we finish with our questions for Khushi, we will try to ask yours as well. Yeah. Okay. So okay. So as a woman, while you were, I understand your father is also into coding.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, okay. So did you, have any biases or any roadblocks that were thrown at you during this journey when you decided you want to, take this up as a profession?
So when it was basically my decision to take my father's advice to, get into coding, because at first I remember how I wanted to just, go into some biology, this thing major, where I just wanted to do something in pharmacy or something like that. And my father was like, but I won't be able to guide you. So why don't you just do computer science? Something easier for me to know what my daughter is doing. And there
Right.
was a little ups and downs with that decision, and obviously I wasn't fully on board with it. But with time, I blended into his decision. Like, I fusion for me, and because it has made my life a lot different than it would have been like. So yeah, that's there. And my father
Very
didn't really, have this thing in mind that that's something like I cannot do. It's like because she's a girl child, so she won't be able to code or something. He didn't have that mindset. He just wanted me to do good in life and something he could guide me on. So that's why he's this.
So anything on the external front, like when you went out for a job or something like that, any such biases were thrown at you? Have you come across women who have told you that people are telling them this? So why do you think this kind of bias happens?
It's actually the opposite that I've heard, because when I go for an interview and if I get selected, I feel that I am selected because I am a girl and they just needed a girl representative in their team or something like that, which is a little sad because I want to be selected for my skills and for my input that I'll be giving to the team, and not because I am a
exactly.
girl and I'm a female and just wanted to increase their female population. So that is one sad thing that I've always come across. And even on Code with Khushi, when I started off as an influencer, people said, you are a girl, you can, get more followers because that's how it is. And I was like,
Yes.
no, I am getting followers because I am able to, convey to my audience what they should do, and they like following me, they like my vibes, and that's why they follow me. But I was having a very difficult time, getting over that fact that okay, it might be that I'm a girl, but it is
Yeah.
what it is now.
Right. I think everyone's complaining that the video is not clear. Are you able to see me clearly, Khushi? Because I
Yes,
can see
you're lagging a little.
Oh, but I can see you clearly and there's no problem at all. Let me just okay. Is this better?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So, okay, fine enough. Now, let's try to get to the basics, okay? The technical basics as such. What is computer science? When someone decides to take up computer science as a career, what is it that they are getting into?
That's a huge cloud of things that they are actually getting into, because there's so much to computer science. You have
Right.
cybersecurity, you have AI, you have machine learning, you have Android apps, you have front end, you have back end, you can go into data science. There's just a lot. But when you're getting into computer science, what people mostly think is it's only technicalities and you don't really need any other skills. But I would say there are more non-tech jobs and tech jobs. So there are actually a lot of, like the scope is huge over here, and it depends on what you like. I have, spent almost 3 years of my life thinking, deciding on what I want to do. I wanted to do, someday I just woke up and I'm like, I'm into data mining. One day I'm like, okay, I'm into Java. So that took a while to, settle down. But yeah, now it's easy.
Nice. I'm actually glad the way you answered this question because it actually leads into my next question. As to, do you think there are any specific, particular jobs in computer science which are more suitable for women. Would you think that, or do you think it actually doesn't matter? It is about how you learn the skill.
Yeah, in the end, your skills matter a lot. I have friends who are, doing great in computer science. I have my father's colleagues and everything. There's just so many people around me, like women in tech. They don't really need a specific job. Like, okay, you're a female, so you should just go get into HR, or you should just do management stuff. Not true. You can also get into the dry stuff. You can get into the technicalities, and in the end, yes, exactly, the skills matter. So that's
Yeah,
the
so
best.
usually, so I'm someone who started learning to code when I was 35. So that was the time when I began my journey there. So obviously, the first things that people told me is that, okay, you can become a front end developer. Women are generally good at designing, so you should take up UI, UX, and all those things. But obviously, I mean, I'm way better at back end than I'm at front end. So so yeah, I mean, people tend to associate jobs with what a woman can do and what a male can do. So yeah, definitely makes sense. I guess it's just upon you, right? What you like and what is it
Exactly.
that you enjoy doing.
Because me and front end are like two enemies. Like, I just can't design well. Like, I can design my room, I can design my space, but when it comes to a website, it just looks very bad. Like, very.
Yeah, I can totally imagine that. Okay, so let's talk about the learning process a little. So, for someone who wants to start off learning any kind of specialty in computer science, what kind of hurdles that can they expect, and how can they overcome those?
I would say, like from personal experience, is the first hurdle is to get started at all, because it's such a vast field. You don't know where to start from. You don't know if you are supposed to do, what you're supposed to do first. Thank God I had my father, so he was guiding me in all my phases. But it's very difficult for someone to, be in a position where you don't have any guidance at all. So obviously, a mentor should, be there. And if you
Okay.
cannot find a mentor, I would say you just have to find roadmaps on how you can get started. Let's say, for example, you are into backend. So what are the languages you can, study? What do you want to do? And basically around it, you have to build your own schedule, your own routines. And other than that, I would say fear of not understanding some concepts, because there are times where computer science is not very easy, and it's actually a lot more difficult than we want to anticipate it as. So there are times where I was like, oh my god, I don't know data structures, I think I should give up. But my friend, I have a very good friend, Atharva. He keeps telling me that I have to, break that thing, that I cannot do that, and always pushes me harder to go to that one limit. And basically, so
Not have.
that is what you should, like as a female, or as any coder in general, when
Yeah.
you are stuck somewhere, you should just push yourself. It's not the end of the world. You can still do it.
Not have JavaScriptophobia.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Really. Okay, so any resources that you can recommend that people can have to kick off their career in computer science? Your top three, your top six resources that people can use for various
Well,
things.
my first resource was my father, so that was that. But no, other than that, I
You
would.
need to start an Instagram channel with him there.
I should, but he's a little camera shy, and he doesn't, he's not so much into this kind of technology. So he's like, ah, no, it's not for me. Um, yeah, but other than that, I would say there are a great, there are always YouTube channels. I really like these courses from Angela Yu. They are so great. They're on Udemy,
Hmm.
and I like studying from books also, like I know coding is something that you have to practice, but in the end, to learn those concepts, I had Bal Subramanian books for that. And other than that, I would say it's in the end all about practice. So there are a lot of platforms to practice online, or you could just start making projects with your friends. And when you start doing something you really like, you just get around it. Like, for example, if you are building a project related to productivity, like for example, I like staying productive, so I make an app related to making notes, to-do lists, and maybe a schedule maker or something like that. So while making it also, I know it's for me, so I get very excited to build it. So something like that, which keeps you together with the coding, and you don't fall apart when things get difficult.
Any platforms that you can recommend where people can learn coding more easily?
So there's Geeks for Geek. I would say there's Code Dam right now. It's going really good. Other than that, Lead Code is there. Lead Code and Code Chef. All these platforms are for basically hacker rank. There's so many actually.
Yeah, there are many. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great, fine. As we know, that we were talking about people matching their skills with their the kind of jobs that they do. So, are there any particular personality attributes? I mean, everyone likes to be, okay, I'm that hacking person who can, when we see in movies, someone is just clicking away on the keyboard and all that. Everyone likes and finds it very, alluring. But the fact is that your personality has to match with that type, right? So when we say learn computer science, are there any personality attributes that we should look at within ourselves and understand that, okay, we can or cannot be successful at coding or whatever? Yeah.
Okay, so there are times, when you are coding and you're like, I have been coding for so long. It's like been 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and I've given it consistency. I've given it everything I had to, but it's just not my thing.
Right.
So that's when you can actually change your way of, either you change your way of thinking towards it. You maybe go to a different domain altogether, or you could just get into management. I would say, if you are good with communication skills, you're good with your confidence. But when you are actually stuck in a situation, the best way to get out of it is to fight it instead of running away, because every situation gets tougher at some point. So there's no point in changing fields just because it doesn't suit you.
Yeah.
You can fit in the jug. Don't make the jug your side. Like something like that.
Lovely. Very well said. Very, very well said. Okay, last question from me, and then I see a lot of questions that have come up in the section. So, any final tips that you have for women to kickstart their career in coding?
I would say consistency is one great this thing, because even with content creation, with coding, with my running, with everything that is going on around me, I would say consistency is the most important thing in life. So when you feel like you cannot, make your day better or something like that, or when you're just having a bad day, you just have to get out of bed and just do it, because no one else is going to do it for you. You are fully responsible, it's your responsibility how you're going to shape your life, how you're going to change it. So yes, it's your responsibility. You change it. Don't depend on anyone else.
Lovely, lovely. That's really nice. Okay. So the questions are related to what sources you personally recommend for CS. I think you've already answered that. Any jobs? No. What is your typing speed? Why would you want to know that? Okay.
Like that.
Okay. So which particular platform is your expertise in coding? So you are specializing in anything?
So I love Java right now. I cannot, promise that I would not like something else in the coming years. But for now, I am into Android development. I'm into Java. So I'm pretty much a full stack developer, but front end sucks. Like a long, big.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a very good question. How to overcome the fear of coding?
Okay, how to overcome the fear. So we have a fear when we cannot understand a few things. So for example, I just couldn't understand, like, let's say heap sort in data structures or any other data structures, for example. And that's when I sit down, I calm myself down. It's okay, like that's important to do first, and go through Google, and now there's Chat GPT. It's amazing. It gives you step by step explanation of everything. And the more
I
you
tried it.
understand and you learn about things, it just gets so much easier for you. And if you understand and if you're able to solve the small things, I think that is how you build the confidence and the trust in yourself. Ki, haan, now I'll be able to do the more difficult questions. So I would say start easy and go towards the more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, the Chat GPT part that you mentioned, I was so excited about it. I just put a simple question that how to center a div inside a div, and oh my god, the explanation that it gave was like a complete tutorial for me. And I mean, I can still remember it, and it kind of just
Exactly.
coded the whole thing, and I was like, okay, what is happening here?
It's amazing.
It was amazing.
It's amazing. It can help you even, if you give her, if you give it your entire day schedule, like for example, I'm doing this and I'm doing this, give me, let's say, find me 2 hours a day that I can give to my coding. It gives you a proper, schedule. Like it makes a schedule for you, like get up at this time, go do this at this,
Amazing.
go to college at this, come back. It's amazing.
Even content wise, like I just put in a title and it gave me a completely non-plagiarized paragraph related to it.
Exactly. That's insane.
Anyway, we digress. Okay, so I think people are wanting to know a little bit more about resources, but before we go to that, there's one question about interviews. So they want to know how to tackle an interview related to programming languages.
Okay. So with that, I would say I have given a few interviews. I've got into all of them, but I would say I didn't get into them mostly because of my programming skills. They were just entry level jobs, so it was on my communication and confidence. But other than that, when you are giving your programming language this thing, make sure you know your basics clearly. You know your OOPS concept. You know a little bit about data structures. You know the simple stuff that the interviewer is going to actually ask, and you're going to mess up, so don't do that. Yeah. There's just some questions that are very easy. So, and if you don't know anything, you don't have to be like, give a wrong answer or something. You just say that I don't know. Maybe I'll, look up to it, and I'll see after the interview, and I'll study about it afterwards. So in the end, the interviewer doesn't want to see how much you know or how difficult, what difficulty level questions you can solve, but how you solve them or how you approach them or how you do that is more important to them.
Yeah. Okay, so I think there are two questions which are related to resources specifically. So one is, if someone wants to learn JavaScript, are there any recommended YouTube channels?
Okay, so for JavaScript, I actually, when I was studying JavaScript, I referred to Code with Harry. Even he's great, and like that's one channel that I'm remembering for now. And if there are, see, you can go through my page, and there's so many posts I've put about JavaScript. You can go through that. Other than that, I don't remember for now for any other.
Okay, sure, no problem. So just for your information, you would already be seeing her Instagram handle here. It's Code with Khushi. So you can follow her and you will get a lot of updates on resources, where to learn what and how to go about it. Most of your questions can actually be answered from her Instagram page. And I mean, already I have seen her content and it is so full of information with just so many posts. I wonder when you reach 400, 500 posts, it will become so rich in content. It will really be one resource that people will recommend, that, okay, go to Code with Khushi.
let's
Okay.
let's
So,
try that.
yeah. The other resource is data science. How does one begin, and what kind of resources can they actually refer to?
So with data science, you have to learn Python. Python
Hmm.
is one important language which is used in data science. You can also go
Right.
with R, but
Right.
its widely used language is Python. You can the best resource I would say is Kaggle.com. There are a lot of data sets where you can play around with and learn more about data science. Other
Yeah.
than that, there are courses on Udemy and even on YouTube too. So that's
Right.
there.
Okay. And I think we have a last question, which is related to software development. So, what skills do we need to learn if they want to major in software development?
So now software development has a lot of other, like a lot of other branches too. But if you are just talking about, let's say, Android development or maybe database management or something like that, they have their own languages that you have to learn. For example, if you're into iOS development, that is also a part of software development.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you have to learn Swift. If you are into Android development, you have to learn Java, Kotlin.
Java. Hmm.
Basically, if you have to figure out what you want to learn and accordingly set your own roadmap towards it
Correct. Yeah.
and stay consistent.
Okay. So one last question from me. Have you come across any barriers in terms of age or any other barriers that typically someone would, face if they are beginning their career in between? Like it's not the regular, doing college in computer science and all that. If there are people who want to switch their careers, then what kind of barriers do you think they can face, and how can they overcome them?
Yeah, so there are a lot of females in my family that are actually, they are they majored in computer science, but they stopped in between, maybe because they had a child or something like that, and then they started again after like years. So yes, they did face a lot of problems because what touch nahi rehta hai, like their touch
Yes.
just goes away. They're
Yeah.
not in like, so they have to actually work harder than the others, and as long as you know what you're doing and as long as the person who's hired you know that you're doing well, I think nothing else matters. Like your skills are actually the end game over here.
Yeah.
Like at the end it's that exact. But yeah, to start something after a long time, it's difficult, so that's the only issue with it.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so that was great. We are going to be posting this live session on our Instagram channel. So if you guys, I have missed out any questions which were not in the question section because the chat was really very active and I couldn't keep up with it. So if you guys have any questions that I haven't answered, you please go ahead and put your questions up when I post this video, and we'll try and make sure to answer them. Either Khushi will, or if we can find some information for you and we'll answer them. Yeah.
Yes.
Khushi, any last words?
I would say kick that fear out of your life and just start coding. It's amazing. You have a lot
Yeah,
of opportunities over here.
I agree. I totally agree. Okay, that was wonderful. It was really nice speaking to you, Khushi, and I
Thank
hope
you so much. So
good for
nice
you
being
too.
here.
Okay, thanks a lot. See you around. Bye bye.